Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is tarot oracle reading. Whoa. This is for the first 10 days of August. And Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Pisces, we all have a little bit of Pisces in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Pisces and which house is Pisces in, that will give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, I am going to begin the reading. I just want to double check. Yes, you'll be able to see the whole thing. All right, we have the underlying energy for the entire reading. This is talking about feeling like you're in a mental prison. This is talking about having a hard decision to make quite often, feeling duty bound in some way, not really wanting to see the situation in its fullness, or not being able to find a solution that is satisfactory. And this energy, I feel like when she first started in this energy, there was way more water here. The water in tarot represents emotion, and emotions were running very high. She's managed to put 7 swords behind her now. And the sword energy in tarot represents the element of air. And this is talking about your, mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. Basically your thoughts, and your thoughts are expressed through words and written or verbal. But this is talking about having to make a very difficult decision that you feel that is in some way really making her feel like something she has to do but doesn't want to. And this is talking about putting 7 thoughts behind her now. And I feel that she's ready to move forward now. Her right foot is forward and it's on dry land. Her left foot is in a shallow pool of water here. So, and this is more like a puddle now. So it's not saying that her emotions are shallow, but the fact is that she has less emotion. So she's been able to put one thought after another behind her. And she's getting ready to move forward and cut herself free here, take the blindfold off and do what she has to do. But she's getting ready to take action on this sword. Now, this represents the thoughts that she's put behind her, and you can see in the background there, her castle is also behind her. And that can be talking about having to leave people and places, things that you love behind because of this decision, and moving forward anyway. And the energy also can talk about the thoughts of other people behind her back. And this is like a mental prison. This is for the entire reading. So the energy for the entire reading is about a difficult decision that has to be made. And we have an Ace of Cups here. The good news is in the internal forces, which is the bottom half of this spread here, there's an Ace of Cups is the overlying or the underlying energy for this part of the reading. So your internal forces are, what you have control over. So it's talking about, the question that you quite often will be asking yourself if it's coming from your internal forces, are the what ifs. Like, what if I do this and they do that? What if they do that and I have to do this? This is talking about love coming in. The cups do represent love, and quite often this could be like a divine partner, someone that the divine and the universe have orchestrated for you to be together with. And this would be an overflowing love that has a lot of potential. It's like a fountain. It just keeps replenishing itself. It's very peaceful. And out of the mud, the water lilies grow. So it's talking about having a lot of beauty and, promise of fulfillment there in love. Now that could also, if you're not looking for a new lover, it could talk about your relationship with your significant other having like a new resurgence of energy, or it could be talking about as well something you love to do or something you love to be, sometimes this could represent family members or whatever, because this castle could be your original home, or it could be a home that you made with your significant other. Now we have the 9 of of Cups here, and this is talking about all kinds of love coming in, unless you're in the middle of, or towards the end actually, because there's only 10. There's 10 cups in the tarot. If you're trying to get a harem together, this could represent romantic love, but otherwise it's probably more likely to be about love of all sorts of things coming into your life. So this would be talking about, love of your family, like just having all the kinds of love with your significant other, and they love you, and with your family members and with your children, and you love your career and all of that. But there's one cup missing. And so this person is, this could be saying you're a public figure. This person's on stage for everybody to see. Or this could just be talking about, you have a public platform, or someone that maybe has their eye on you, or you have your eye on them when it comes to love, is a public figure. Now, this is talking about the body language here is a little bit incongruent. We have the feet turned out, and this is talking about releasing energy from the lower, from the base chakra, and that's about your survival, like in the 3D. And then we have, but his arms are in the sign of an infinity symbol, so this is representing an energy of, infinite potential. And he kind of does remind me of a genie. He could nod his head and get what he wants. And so I feel like this is saying that, this card is saying keep your focus, because you're so close to having, the ultimate fulfillment in love. And you need to, many a race is lost in the last lap. Don't lose your focus. And we don't know if these cups are here in the past and they're on a shelf behind his head, or if this is right above his head, or is it forward and it's about to come in. So this is how your self-image is now. That's the position. And this is talking about, the Chariot is talking about being on your destined path. The Chariot's like a tank, like you get on and there's no reins needed. It just, it's going down, it's going to go in the direction of God's plan. That's like, tung, 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 tung. But you notice here, it is also saying that you may need to leave your comfort zone and look at leaving the castle behind. So this could be like talking about making a move, or thinking about moving to another place, or having to move, that type of energy. Sometimes this can represent law and order because of the black and whites here. That's what they used to call the sheriff's cards way back when. And also, they would put people, and I noticed actually, I was watching something on YouTube, and there was a prisoner, and he was in this horizontally striped uniform. I thought they were all orange these days, but apparently not. But in any case, it talks about when you horizontal stripes energetically weaken people's energy. Like when you look at them, it automatically will make you go weak unless you have to correct yourself. And it breaks the energy up. And vertical stripes, refs in, like, I've noticed that refs in football and in soccer, they've got those big wide black stripes that are vertical, not horizontal. And that will strengthen, especially if you have a pinstripe suit. Pinstripe suits automatically make you want to stand up, and stand tall and strong. So this is talking about, like, sometimes this can be talking about law enforcement and the early days when they had, people in jail were put in these in these kinds of uniforms. And then also, this is saying that it's on its path. So it is talking about your abundance, that if you are on your destined path, that you're more likely to have abundance coming in. And here we have you working very focused again. This is about focus again. The Pentacle energy represents health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. Now, this is definitely, this card is about making money, but the Pentacle energy is not just about making money. Money is a very important part, of course, in the 3D world to be happy, but this is talking about, you could have all the money in the world and still not, if you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, you're not going to be living your best lifestyle. This card in particular, though, is talking about literally making money. This person is pounding out a coin here. And that energy is like literally making money. And so very focused. Either you have 2 pentacles done and you only have 6 to go, or you have 6 done and you have 2 to go. This is being very focused on making money, working on a project to make money. And this is in your position of early childhood. So you may have been taught that you have to work hard to make money. And really, it's better to work smart to make money. But being very focused on it is not a bad thing. Sometimes people say when you lack focus, it's a bad thing. But if you're focusing on the wrong thing, or something that's going to weaken your energy, then really, having too much focus is not a good thing, if that makes sense to you. So you need to have balance in your focus, basically. That's what I feel that I'm trying to say, or this card has brought up for me, because this is from your early childhood. So this could also talk about the attitude that your parents had about money. They could have been very hard workers and, taught you that this is how you go about making money, is you put your mind to it and you put the work in, and then you use it wisely. And that's absolutely true. The energy here, though, can sometimes, like with this card here, sometimes this can literally be making money, like counterfeit, that type of energy, white collar crime. So, and we have, this is sometimes law and order coming in, and it's just popped up in my head when both these cards came down together. So, and because we have some sort of judgment being called, and we have this card here, this mental prison, can sometimes actually mean a physical prison as well. So I'm just looking at a lot of cards here that are pointing to there could be some sort of illegal activity going on here. And, this sometimes could just be representing, energy. This is within your internal forces. So this could just be energy that's directed your way, or temptation of this, or something's going on. Something is in the background here, is affecting your life for sure. And then we have judgment coming down. But they see the ancestors here are totally and completely like thrilled. Woohoo! Judgment is coming down. The judgment comes from the spiritual realm, and then it comes down into the physical, into the court systems. And this is the energy I'm picking up. Like this may go way back when this card comes up. Sometimes this can talk about like when judgment comes in, it's also quite often the clearing of a bloodline, or like karma from a bloodline. And this could represent energy that your ancestors, before they crossed the veil, they were not able to clean up some sort of energy, or they had something happen to them where they did not get justice, and they want justice. And they're thrilled because you're here, you are their descendant, and you are bringing that justice in somehow here, whether you know it or not. But there's definitely something going on here. They're literally climbing out of their boxes. Now, sometimes this can talk about skeletons coming out of the family closet. And sometimes this can also talk about Pandora's box being opened on a bigger level, So it could have been something that happened to them that was unfair, and they did not get justice before they crossed the veil. And they are so excited now because whatever you're doing is bringing that justice, that judgment is coming down from the Most High. And then we have this energy, and that will then come into the courts of law. And so there may be something that they worked very hard for that was meant to go to their descendants, and someone else took it. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. Because we got this energy here. This is a walking contradiction. The Seven of Swords energy is talking about innovative thinking, but innovative thinking sometimes in this way. So this is talking about the Seven of Swords. Swords in tarot represent the element of gain of your thoughts. And so this could sometimes be sneaking away with intellectual material, or patents, that type of thing. And we don't really this is a walking contradiction. We really don't know what is this person up to. Like, this is a shift disturber for sure, because we've got like 2 swords planted here, and he's sneaking off with 5. Now he has to look over his shoulder, And that's what he's doing. And this would represent the past, something he's done in the past. He's got to look over his shoulder. And yet he's moving forward, but he's not looking where he's going. And he's got this bright red cap and bright red boots on. Like, you can't miss him. He's in broad daylight. And so it's like, if he's a thief, he's not a thief that sneaks around in the middle of the night with a flashlight, and a burglar that breaks into your home. This is someone that is most likely involved in counterfeit or white-collar crime, like embezzlement, identity theft, forgery, theft of intellectual material. This is someone who's sitting at their desk in broad daylight. They come in early, they leave late, they go for lunch, come back all fulfilled, and then it's like, oh, this person is a hardworking individual. But we don't know what he's doing. He's pushing paper. When you look at him sitting at his desk, you're thinking, hey, what a hardworking dude. But we don't really know what is he doing, because this is very sneaky energy. Plus, the thing that really bothers me about this card is the way he's carrying these swords. Like, put it in the comments below if you've ever seen anyone carry swords like this. This is 5 swords that he's sneaking away with. He's on his tiptoes. He's not watching where he's going, and he's moving forward. Like, he could so easily trip. And I mean, look, he could lose his hands here. This is so dangerous. These are so sharp. Who carries swords like this? This is dangerous. And if he's this dangerous with his own energy, how careful do you think he's going to be with yours? And so this isn't about your creativity, romance, and children. I wouldn't let this person babysit my children. I can tell you right now, there's no way. No way. So this is talking about the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles energy is, again, it's like a juggling, and it's also, this sometimes can represent multitasking. Now, this is someone who's very busy, and it's talking about how, how sometimes life can get really busy, and we go through periods in life where we're really have a lot to do. But sometimes we get in the habit of being that way, and it just gains momentum. Like, we have a small ship here, and then it's just a bigger ship and a bigger wave, and it's like, wow, like eventually we just get in the habit of being busy for the sake of being busy, and sometimes juggling the energy so much that we have more quantity work than quality work, and then we end up having to do things twice, or make big mistakes where we have to go back and fix things. And so this energy is talking about, they're making sure that you don't get so busy that you can't really keep an eye on what's going on. And this can also be talking about juggling lifestyle. And, definitely this energy here is, it can be talking about juggling money. And also, this card is saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And I feel like this person definitely, like, this energy is just looking that way. So we're going to see what is the underlying energy at the bottom of the deck. Wow, there's just a lot of cards here that are saying investigation. So we do, and now there's sirens like crazy in the background. I don't know if you can hear them because I have a noise canceling mic on. But as soon as this card came in, emergency, emergency, this person's pressing the panic button. They're trying to possibly run away from prison, because this can sometimes not just be a mental prison, but an actual physical prison. Or they're walking away from someone falling in love, or they're or they're running to something. We don't know what that is. Now, this can often represent an investigation going on. The knights would work for the kings and the queens and the court. Wow, just hold on a second because it's so loud. There we go. I just couldn't even focus. As soon as this dude comes out, all these alarms are going off. Okay, so the Knight of Swords energy is talking, they would work for the King and Queen of Swords. Now, we can't see we can only see half his sword here. So he might only have half the information. We can't see the point, and maybe he can't either. And then there's this big red flag on the back of his helmet. And he is pushing this horse hard. The horse is totally, completely stressed out, and so is he. And this is talking about, the horses in tarot are heartfelt energy and emotion and passion. And he's pushing this horse through barren land against the wind. Something is like, this is like high level anxiety about some information that has come in, or some communication that's come in. And I feel like this has definitely got to do with this energy, why you're in this energy here. And so this is talking about, I feel, the energy of the people that this is about. And this is you letting go of this anxiety and making a move forward and deciding I'm going to do something. And I feel that's what this card is about. This could even just be saying that you have enough love for yourself that you are not going to stay here in this energy. So, this is talking, sometimes this can be about an investigation that's been going on. It could be legal or illegal, and quite often using technology like hidden cameras, and sometimes this can talk about making money off the dark web from hidden cameras and mics, hot mics, that type of energy. It can be talking about hiring a private eye. You might have done so because you were suspicious of something, and I could see why if you are. There's something going on here for sure. So let's keep going and see what else is going on. We have the Wheel of Fortune is turning. And so this is really good energy, saying this is the external forces, right? So I feel like whatever is going on, whatever investigation, whatever information has come in, this is what you were trying to figure out. Okay, what am I going to do with this energy? And now that you've decided what you're going to do, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. And this person is like freaking out about that. They didn't expect you to find out all of this. That's what I'm getting. So the Wheel of Fortune is talking about the past, the present, and the future coming together. And this cup of love could be this energy here, right? We have, on this wheel, there's actually 3 wheels. And on one of them are the Hebrew letters for the name of God, which is Tetragrammaton. Now that is a sacred geometric symbol that represents equalization of all forces and perfect divine order in the universe and the earth. This is God's plan coming in, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor here. So, and this is in your commitments, partnerships, and marriage. So there could be some new energy coming into this position with this card here. And this could be some energy about some an older relationship, an ex or something. It's not uncommon for like the King and the Queen of Swords to be the most likely to be a divorced couple or separated, that type of energy. Then we have the 3 of Wands here. So this is about this is the action now. And so this definitely feels like this is an action of like, this person is standing on the precipice of change. And you notice like the water is golden because the sun is shining on this. This is God's energy for you to make a move here. And he's looking off into the distant shore, and these ships are sailing by. And he's thinking, I might just hop on one of them babies and go on an adventure. So now this could be your energy because now you're finally dealing with the external forces. And this could be about you deciding to leave being a couple and become a single person. Now, because we have this energy in here and the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you regarding what's going on here, this person, if he's in the reverse here energy, this is talking about someone who might be communicating with people who are overseas, and this could be wiretapping, this type of energy. This could be this could be talking about embezzlement or something like that. But this is in your position of transition. So if this is the energy that's been going on and that's what's been affecting your life, and it might be people in your inner circle that have been doing this behind your back. You're starting to find out about it, and you're taking action. Perhaps you went to the police and they're doing something about it, and maybe they have an investigation going. And then we have some energy here about a new lover coming in. Now, isn't that interesting? That could be this energy here. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. You've decided to move on, leave a couple, and that could be divorce energy, and go forward as a single person. And then right away, bang, you meet this new lover. It could be that energy. And this is talking about the sun is shining on this relationship for you. So the good news is the external forces, once you deal with this energy here, that you're right away, the Wheel of Fortune turns for you, and you're moving into, okay, here's this new ace energy coming in for you. And we have a cloud in between the two here. This is talking about this being someone you probably don't know. If you do know them, you might know of them, and you may know them or have talked to them, but this isn't someone that you've ever had a relationship with before. This isn't someone coming in from your past and you saying, okay, I'll take you back. This is a new relationship, and it's anointed by the divine. It's talking about this being a powerful connection that you'll have. And it might be someone overseas, because we have you hopping on a ship and traveling. Now, we also have these people possibly wanting to hop on a ship and travel also. But we call that, what is that called? Dang, like when I'm doing my readings, it doesn't come to me. Not embezzlement. Oh, they're absconding. They might be thinking about absconding. Absconding is when you want to avoid getting caught by the law for doing something illegal with money. And so you're trying to get out of the country, so that to a country that can't extradite you. And now here, this is energy of temperance. And temperance is talking about the earth angel energy. I feel this is saying that this divine couple energy is like a power couple. This is the temperance energy is about having the patience to stay on your path no matter what. And it's talking about this energy of keeping your temper and being able to have good character throughout whatever happens in your life here. And it's also talking about this energy of being on the path of glory. And so if you're on your destined path, basically what this reading is saying is, if you're on your destined path, you are going to be rewarded now. And the earth angel energy could be talking about this, like we have the angel wings here, and we have them here, and we have two cups coming together. And so when these two come up together, this is saying this is a romantic partner that is in the same type of energy as you, and that will empower you to be able to move forward, mixing your alchemy together, mixing that into the universal pool, and then grounding that energy onto earth to make the world a more beautiful place. This is someone that you can count on. I feel like you maybe never have had that in the past when it comes to your inner circle and significant others. It seems like they're busy doing a lot of shift behind your back here. That's the energy there. So this is talking about a transition happening. This is your higher knowledge now, and this is talking about your career and reputation. Ooh, yeah, these people wanted your blessings. So this is in your blessings, and this is talking about this energy here. You may have felt like, man, like, you're working away, but you're not feeling like you're really getting where you need to go, and you're always juggling and you're always busy, and you can see the other people around you are like living their life, and you feel like all you're doing is working, but you don't feel like you're getting where you should be getting. This is talking about being stabbed in the back, and generally that's this energy here. So while you're busy being worried about not about them going to jail, basically, because you just found out what they've been up to. They've been busy stabbing you in the back, having you do the work so that they can, and maybe trying to implicate you as well. So this is an energy of blessing in disguise. Thank God that these people left you out, that you may have felt like, wow, like, you know, this could be people that were close to you and you could have been heartbroken by what had happened. But this is rejection is God's protection. Definitely, that's definitely what this energy is. This isn't self-sabotage, because it would be very hard to do this to yourself. This is talking about collaborated effort to do this. And now with the pentacle energy in this and the juggling and all of this energy that we're picking up here, this could be talking about, you know, an annual event for the last decade or more. And it can be talking, and it could be talking even more than that, going back to something that happened that was left to you by your ancestors. So this could be like when you were a child. And this is also talking about, it could be 10 people or 10 groups of people. This is, the right hand is in the form of a blessing. This is a blessing in disguise. And that you were left out of their plans, and you might have felt like no one ever invites me along. Why am I always the guy out? Here I am working again, and they're out and about having fun. But that was a blessing in disguise, and this is the light at the end of the tunnel. It's saying that this is coming to an end, and you're going to start receiving your blessings now. And let's see, we have, oh yes, it's the Three of Cups energy. So these people were celebrating way too soon. They thought that they had this in the bag, but the truth, the wheel of fortune started turning and the truth came out. So this energy, these people are celebrating, but no one's looking at each other. There's no intimacy here. They could give a shift about each other or you about anything but money. That's the energy or the power or whatever it is. And they are literally in this energy. This is talking like with what's going on here. This is coming to an end. It's all hidden illusions and secrets coming to an end in this position here. So this is your spiritual nature, and this is talking about when people are toasting each other and they don't look at each other. It's talking about them toasting something that happened, not something that they care about each other or that kind of energy. They're celebrating something that happened. And I feel they thought they had you down this time for sure. And he's running back to say, oh my God, they got back up. And it's worse than that. Like now there's an investigation happening and da-da-da-da-da, like that. And so in many cultures, if you toast someone like this, they will freak out on you because cups are about love. And in Europe in particular, if you toast someone, you don't look them in the eye, they'll be like, look me in the eye, because they have this superstition that it causes 7 years of bad luck in your romantic love life, if you don't look someone in the eye when you're toasting them. And not just you, but them too. So this is talking about all of that kind of energy. And I do feel that you had someone in your inner circle here that was part of this energy. And that's why we have a new love coming in. So this is a lot of energy, but I feel like this has been going on for quite some time. And it's just like finally, like, keep saying, oh yeah, justice is going to come in. But like now the facts are coming out. And maybe the investigation is coming to a close finally. And finally, you're going to hear about this energy coming through. Now I'm going to clarify with my oracle cards. And let's see what they have to say. If you're leaving the reading now, thank you for your time and energy. If you say, yep, I have enough knowledge here, I have a pretty good idea what's going on, then this is just confirmation for you. Only take what works for you. You don't want all this to be like true. Like this is just like a lot of different people's energy coming together. So the oracle cards are from Tales from the Vector. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I started this back in 2007, completed all 64 paintings in 2020. And now this energy, I'm working on getting it done and putting it out there. I'm gathering information basically in these readings. I will put the numbers here. They represent the paintings, how they're ordered in my gallery. And then if you want, you can take a look there. As they say, painting paints 1,000 words. So this energy here is one of the paintings. This is, I did 12, one for each of the zodiac signs. This is actually an ink drawing that they were done in ink, and it's it's a reproduction, so that's why it looks like it's on canvas. The dissemination information, this is a tactic that's used where there's an elephant in the room, and like that's this energy right here. You're the elephant. Basically, bottom line, these people have been like, that like your intuition's been telling you there's something up, but you were believing in your own press in a way. And so this dissemination of information is when people speak in ways that to make it to get you confused, so they give you half truths, half the information, and they quite often use language that you might not understand, so in this believing in your own press, this is the kind of energy where people will want to motivate other people, and they'll say, you have to believe in yourself. But quite often we have a lot of limiting beliefs about what we are capable of doing or being. And you don't want to believe that. You don't want to believe the limitations. You have the power to deal with this and handle this. And you deserve to be able to be happy and have love in your life and not be in this energy from the very people that are supposed to be the people that you can count on. And this is talking about the moon. I feel the energy. We just had this full moon on the 29th, and it's the 1st of August today. So this energy is like still hanging in the air, and it was a real heavy, like it was like a big thud when this full moon came in. There was Saturn had entered Aries for a while. I think it might be leaving now. Or moving a little bit. So, or maybe the moon has left that energy by now, and so it's like not as intense. But this is talking about the energy, like of your intuition, listening. Basically, the swords are double-edged. They one side is the logic, and the other side is your intuition. You need to be able to use both to be able to come to creative solutions. This is destruction. So this was progress in motion. Like you managed to stay like pretty centered here. Like you managed to get a lot done. But I feel like the one thing maybe that you're missing is an inner circle of people that you actually could trust. And the reason why that this, like you were left out all the time is rejection is God's protection. So this, this could have destroyed, they might have done everything they can to destroy your career and reputation because they wanted it. This disruption, what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. While you're busy working really hard to get what you need to get done to be on your destined journey here, they're doing everything they can to disrupt it. And that might include like a third-party energy, which this could be a third-party energy that was involved in your with someone and a significant other in your life. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be about romantic love, but someone that was messing around in your, that was very close to you, messing around in your inner circle energy. We have Aries here on this energy, working hard and making money. So this is talking about this energy of being, while you're very focused making money, they were very focused on, you were trying to be and do what you were taught to be from when you were a child. And they were part of, I feel, what you were taught is that family matters. And like really focusing on that, like working hard for your family. That's the energy I feel like you were in. Excuse me. And we have the Wheel of Fortune coming up. We have a little bit of smoke in the air again here. There's wildfires all over the place here in British Columbia, and the wind changed back. And so I'm just noticing my throat is dry again with the smoke. But the Wheel of Fortune is turning not just for you, but for your ancestors. And they are really, really happy that you're dealing with this energy. This could be something significant that you learn from in the past from them, and it could be some sort of pentacle energy coming towards you, something that you missed out on for some reason. And then we have the falling star energy. This is about falling and failing in love. It's a matter of eye. And it's sitting right on this. Now this card here also, which I didn't mention, but now that this is on it, this energy is also talking about the 7-year itch. And the 7-year itch is like, statistically, when you get married, the most common time that people get divorced is in the first year, which kind of surprised me when I looked into this. But the next most common time is the 7th year. And so this is talking about someone who is sneaking away maybe on their lunch hour because they are having an affair or something. And this could be this third party energy, because it's sitting right on this energy in broad daylight, you know. I'm going for lunch now. Okay, see you, have a good lunch. I will. It's that type of energy. And this also, statistically, it's interesting because people who purchase homes have a tendency to sell them in between the 7th and 8th year. And also, statistically, people who own businesses tend to get tired of their business around the 7th or 8th year. So you could have a partner that says, well, I'm off, I'm leaving the country. And that's when you want to get an auditor to check your books. Okay, so we have the Scorpio energy here. And this is talking about, the energy is talking about juggling lifestyle here, and this is the sexual gladiator of the horoscope. In its best energy, Scorpio unites people, and it's about elevating everyone, and but at its worst, it's conquering. And Scorpio does have it's represented by the scorpion, and if you get stung by a scorpion, you're gonna know it. So I just want to point out that when my readings have horoscope signs come in them, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the qualities of the signs and the state of being. So every sign has its strengths and weaknesses, pluses and minuses. And this is talking about how much we can learn from that energy. And it's talking about astrological influences as well, sometimes that are coming through. And so I just want you to be aware of that. In your own reading here, you might say, no, Colette, there is an Aries, there's a Scorpio, there's a Cancer, and that could be. But you need to use your own intuition for that. And I just want you to be aware that's not my goal here in these readings. I want to learn from the energy. What can we do better? How, if you ever get your chart done, you'll notice you have all the signs in there somewhere, and you can learn from this energy. Each of these signs has their own field of expertise, so why not learn from it, right? And then we have the battle star energy, and this is talking about the solar plexus energy, and having the courage to really take a look at what's going on here, and what could you do differently, and that energy. It's talking about having the courage to look at your shadow side and figure out, okay, what do I need to do better? And I feel that's the energy that you've done when you were in this energy here. I forgot to get the underlying energy for the external forces, but I have that here. We have mother's worry. Now this has been coming in this card's been coming up in almost every reading. And I feel like it's more like your mother might be worried about you, or you might be a mother that's worried. But it also could be that just the energy on the planet right now. A lot of people worrying about what's going on the planet. It just feels like the rug's been pulled out from underneath us in many ways every day. There's some new truths coming out that can be, if it distorts your reality and it's sudden, and like you really didn't expect that energy to be coming in. That's kind of what this is talking about here. Kind of shaking your foundation, right? And then we have temperance. So that's the same as the energy here. And this is where, when the Wheel of Fortune starts turning for you and you make strong choices, and then all of a sudden you're moving into this energy where you release this old energy and you move in, especially like what a beautiful thing to have a partner that actually does care about you and does want you to do well, and you want them to do well. You're not wasting a lot of time, money, and energy invested in wondering what the heck they're up to. Where if you have to hire a private eye to figure out what your lover is doing, then probably, they're not really your lover. Or there's not much love involved. We do have that, and this energy is on what I just said is true, the communication. Gemini energy is about communication and learning from, the past, and using having creative solutions that come from logic and intuition. But it's also talking about the energy of Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini about 2 months ago. And it hasn't been there since 1941 to 1949. It's coming up also in a lot of the readings. This is saying that there's a lot of truths coming out right now that are on a global level and in people's lives, because whatever's happening above is going to affect below when you're thinking about the pyramid, right? And we haven't had Uranus in Gemini since 1941 to 1949, when World War II was in full swing, and then the aftermath of that. And we are just starting to come to some of the truths of what really happened during that time. And that was 75 years ago from when I'm doing this reading. So it's really talking about a lot of truth coming out. Bottom line, when Uranus is in Gemini, the truth wants to come out. And it's also, we have Pluto in Aquarius, same thing. It's like pushing this energy really hard right now. And like there's not that many new astrological influences right now in the beginning 10 days. But we do have a new moon coming up, and that is also going to be a total solar eclipse energy, which I will do a separate reading on right after this. But there's this Uranus in Gemini is a pain in the butt for people that don't want the truth to come out, because it is. And sometimes it's coming up from maybe shift that our ancestors went through, and we're just finding out about it now. Remember I said this can be skeletons coming out of the closet. So let's see here. We have shooting star energy. And I feel like just coming up here, like this is something that you always have wished for, a relationship like this. And you've taken you've had a good attitude through this. Like you've done your best to stay on the straight and narrow in this energy. And I feel like this temperance energy here is a transition of having a lover who also has a good attitude like you. And the two of you together can really, there's no question that you're going to be truthful with each other and empower each other to be on your destined path. And then we have the Hierophant. Definitely there's the Hierophant is the one that's responsible for bringing that justice down from the spiritual into the traditional structures of, and here we have sirens going again. There we have it. Okay, I think I just couldn't focus. I don't know what the heck's going on. I'll have to check after this reading's over if something's going on right out front here or something, because there's a lot of sirens. And the traditional structure is the court systems. The Hierophant is the one that has his right hand in the form of a blessing. And that's what you have here. So that definitely is saying this is in your blessings, that you will receive your blessings, and that justice is here. Justice is coming through. And then we have indifference. Yeah, this is a karmic space that people can fall into. When they're saying to you, and like you might have been saying, I don't know, there seems to be something going on, and you're talking to your people in your inner circle, like, I just feel like something's off. Like, have you noticed anything? And they're like, nope, nope, nope. And we're all in it together. We're a work in progress, except then you find out that was just a pipe dream. and they've actually been in the karmic space of indifference, and they want what's yours, and they are in this energy here. And it can be really challenging because you don't want to think that the people in your inner circle would be doing this to you behind your back. But eventually the truth comes out, you know. That's Uranus. It's a pain in the butt for people who don't want the truth to come out, and it's a blessing for those that do. I hope you enjoyed this energy. I really did enjoy this reading. More sirens. Oh, Pisces, this is quite the reading. All right, I will be back with another reading for you soon. It'll be about that new moon and eclipse energy. And thank you for your time, energy, your likes, comments, shares, subscribe. I really do appreciate them all. Bye for now.